Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So in today's video I'm going to be doing a topic that is highly requested. I get these questions a lot, especially for people that are just going natural and don't really know like stuff to do, products to use, things to do with their hair. So we're going to be talking about how to properly hydrate and moisturize low porosity 4C hair. Actually, these things go for low porosity hair in general. Your hair doesn't really have to be 4C, but if your hair is low porosity, these are some of the things you can do to properly hydrate and moisturize your hair. I'd advise you to grab a pen and a paper because I'm going to be giving you guys a lot of information in this video. Yeah, if you're not already subscribed, please go ahead and click that subscribe button down below. Turn on your notification bell so that you'll be notified for when I upload my videos. And without further ado, sit tight and let's jump straight into the video. So my hair is low porosity, and these tips are basically things I've learned over the years with styling my own hair through trial and error, and also doing research, because you guys know I love to like do a lot of research and reading when it comes to natural hair and like the science behind natural hair. So these tips are basically a combination of all of that. So what is low porosity hair? For those that don't know what low porosity hair is, so low porosity hair is hair that still has the cuticle laying very flat and somewhat closed, and for the most part we all start off with low porosity hair, but as we get older, with the environments that we stay in, environmental and chemical processes, all those things, UV rays, and the kind of things we put in our hair, if you're someone that's always bleaching, coloring your hair, if you're someone that's constantly styling, so many different factors can affect the way our porosity changes over time. It is very possible to have had low porosity hair 3 or 4 years ago and you find out that your hair porosity is somewhat medium to high 4 years after. So how do you moisturize and hydrate low porosity hair? Now, first of all, let us define what is moisture and what is hydration, because we all tend to use those two terms interchangeably, even with products. Like you see some products are moisturizing products and some products are hydrating products, and you're like, what is the difference? There is actually a difference, but we just use them interchangeably, and that can actually cause confusion sometimes. So hydration is basically replenishing the hair with water, or pulling water really deep into or around the hair strand. This is really what you need to focus on if you have low porosity hair, finding ways to pull water into your hair. You can literally start by merely drinking more water to make sure that your body is hydrated. If your body is properly hydrated, chances are your hair is hydrated too. Now for moisture, moisture is just basically the presence of water. I know they kind of sound like the same thing, but moisture could be merely the presence of water in your moisturizing products, the presence of water in the creams or leave-ins that you're using. It's just the presence of water. And moisturizing products are basically those like really thick creams and butters or moisturizers that you apply on top of your hair to just lock in the moisture that is in your hair. So think of hydration more as something that is internal, and moisture more as something that is external. Ultimately, they both go hand in hand to ensure that our hair is very healthy, and you really can't have one without the other. So with that being said, to keep your low porosity hair moisturized and hydrated, so you need products that penetrate your strand, and you also need products that just stay on your strand, that just coat your strand. You need both. What goes into your strand is equally as important as what just sits on top of your strand. Okay, so now let's get into the juicy part. So what type of products, what type of oils, what type of leave-ins, what type of substances can you put on your low porosity hair? The ultimate, the most important, the beginning, where it starts, is water. Water is the most important thing and the first thing that should be going on your hair. Make sure you apply your products to at least damp hair, and when you spray the water on your hair, give your hair at least a couple of seconds, at least 10 to 15 seconds for the water to actually soak in before you start applying their product. I see people do make that mistake quite a lot, where they put the water on their hair and then they immediately put the next product. You're actually supposed to allow the water soak in first before you put the next product on your hair. Number 2, cream leave-in conditioners. These are even more beneficial to people that have coarse, low porosity hair like me, and because leave-in conditioners have the added benefit of giving your hair softness, giving your hair flexibility, and that helps to reduce breakage, giving your hair lubrication, that helps to reduce single strand knots and breakage, because it's easier for your strands to slide on each other without splitting or anything like that. I have coarse hair, and for most people with coarse hair, our strands are very thick, and because of that our hair doesn't naturally feel soft. If there's no product in my hair at all, my hair feels very, very hard because of the thickness of my strand. It's only like specific leave-in conditioners that I use that really give my hair that softness. If your hair is on the finer side where it feels very soft naturally, like I know people like that, two of my friends, they're sisters, they have 4C hair and their hair feels very, very soft. Even if there's nothing in it at all, their hair always feels soft. So if you have that kind of hair that just naturally feels soft, you might not need to use leave-in conditioners as often because your hair is already kind of naturally conditioned. But yeah, you still need leave-ins, you just might not need to use it as often as someone with coarser hair. And your hair will be able to tolerate a wider variety of leave-ins because your hair is naturally soft. And I'm going to tell you guys specific ingredients to look for in your leave-in conditioners that help to keep low porosity hair hydrated and moisturized. So number 3, we have spray leave-in conditioners. These will be your best friend after water, your absolute best friend after water. You actually need them daily, if not every other day, and they usually come in a very watery consistency, so it's stuff that you can use on a more frequent basis and it doesn't like cause product buildup in your hair, because product buildup is actually very bad for low porosity hair, so it's something that you want to avoid. So having a spray leave-in is so convenient. Whenever your hair is feeling dehydrated, you just spray the leave-in in your hair to increase the moisture levels. You can buy some. I have some, like 2 of my favorites that I have. One is from Uncle Funky's daughter. I've talked about this in my favorite products video, and the second one is from T-Jin, is the rose water one. So there are different ones in the market depending on the one that your hair likes, and depending on the ingredients that your hair likes. Or you can mix up your own stuff in a spray bottle, some aloe vera juice, some people add glycerin and some other oils to spray in their hair. It's something that you can make at home if you want. So yeah, definitely keep that in hand. Number 4, humectants. These are the things you want to look for in your products, especially film forming humectants. Now, humectants basically draw moisture to your hair, and as film forming humectants, they draw the moisture. Not only do they draw moisture to your hair, like they draw moisture deep into your strand, they also form a film over your hair that basically coats your strand and keeps that moisture in your hair, so the moisture doesn't leave the strand that easily. So they basically slow down water loss, because even I know low porosity hair, once moisture gets into low porosity hair, it doesn't really lose the moisture easily because the cuticle is closed, but your hair can still get dehydrated, especially when it's out in the sun or the humidity is very low, so the air is basically dry. Depending on where you stay, if you stay in drier climates, this is something that will help you a lot. It's not a coincidence, all my favorite leave-in conditioners contain film forming humectants. Since these film forming humectants form a very clear and flexible film, they also help with flexibility and softness to reduce breakage. Now, examples of film forming humectants you should look out for in your products, get your pen and your paper, are mostly plant gels: aloe vera gel, okra gel, seaweed extracts, sea moss, Irish moss extract, flaxseed gel is another really good one, slippery elm, marshmallow roots extract, nettle leaf, xanthan gum, guar gum, what else, panthenol, pectin, keratinized honey, hydroxyethyl cellulose. These are some of the film forming humectants you should definitely look at in products. And like I said, all my favorite products, all my favorite leave-in conditioners have these things. This one from Traylux, this is actually the one I have in my hair right now. It has aloe vera leaf juice in it, and it has slippery elm, and slippery elm is actually one of the main ingredients, one of the key ingredients in this product. This one has nettle leaf in it. The moisturizer from Traylux as well, this one has marshmallow root extract in it. So next we have oils. Oils mainly seal in moisture and add softness and lubrication to your strand, which reduces friction and also reduces breakage. Now, low porosity hair is usually very picky with oils. You can't just use any oil because some oil molecules are a bit too big, and they basically stuff our strand and make our strand very crunchy, and it feels very, very dry and tangly, especially when there is no moisture before we put the oil on the strand. It just makes your hair feel even drier. A very good culprit of that is coconut oil. Coconut oil is actually one of the most penetrating oils, amazing for people with higher porosity hair. So that is definitely something to keep in mind. With oils, if you're using raw oils, you would actually have to like play around with it and see what works best for your hair and what your hair respond better to. Also, you don't always need to add extra oil to your hair. Sometimes the oil that is already contained in the maybe moisturizers or leave-in conditioners, the products that you're using, is sufficient, so you might not need the extra oil step. Like personally, whenever I use Trelog stuff, these two are enough to moisturize my hair. I don't really need to add an extra oil step. My stuff from Uncle Funky's daughter, I can't find the product right now. If not, I've showed you guys, but you guys already know what they look like. I use them a lot. My stuff from Uncle Funky's daughter, I usually use the leave-in, and then I put either super curl or extra butter on top of it. And most of the time, whenever I use super curl, I don't really need to add an oil because there's the oil content in that product is already enough for me. So a lot of times you will not need to add an extra oil step. The key to oils with low porosity hair is that you do not want to use too much so that you don't stuff your strand and the oil is not taking up the space that water would have taken up. You want to get as much water into your strand as possible, so you don't want to overfill your hair with oil and then there's no space for water to be in your hair. So a little goes a long way when it comes to oils with low porosity hair. It is also very possible for your hair to react differently to certain oils if you're using the raw oil as opposed to how it reacts if you're using the oil mixed in a product. Personally, my hair hates raw coconut oil. I can't put raw coconut oil in my hair. It will make my hair feel very, very stiff. But some of my favorite products contain coconut oil in them and I use it without any problems. That is because in these products, they're formulated with emulsifiers, and emulsifiers are substances that basically help to mix oil and water. So when the oil is basically emulsified in that form, it's easier for our hair to tolerate the oil. So because you hate an oil in its raw form doesn't necessarily mean you will hate it in its product form. So that's why I said with oils, you just basically have to play around with stuff and see what you like. Okay, so now that we've discussed products, oils, substances, leave-ins, all those things, just remember that the best products, best leave-in conditioners for low porosity hair should contain water, especially as the first ingredient, film forming humectants, some oils but not too much, and good conditioning ingredients. Good conditioning ingredients could be plant extracts, could be fatty alcohols. Fatty alcohols are amazing conditioning ingredients for low porosity hair. I've done a video on alcohols. I'm going to link it down below. Click the ad top if you want to see the video. Other very common conditioning ingredients used in products are centrimonium chloride, penhydramonium metasulfate, diacetyldimmonium chloride, and again, most of my favorite products contain these things. This one has I think this one has centrimonium. Yeah, this one has centrimonium chloride in it. This one has, I think this one has penhydramonium metasulfate. Am I correct? Yeah, it does have penhydramonium metasulfate, and it also has diacetyldimmonium chloride as well. So as you can see, most of my favorite products and leave-in conditioners contain these film forming humectants, conditioning ingredients. Now, other things you can do, other actions you can take aside from products and stuff that you apply that can help to increase the moisture levels in your low porosity hair. Number one, steam. Steam is very important. First of all, the steam has heat, so that helps to open up our cuticle, and the steam also has water in the form of water vapor, so it makes it easier for water to penetrate into our strands and hydrate our strands. So it would do you good to incorporate a steaming session maybe once a week or every time you wash your hair, every 2 weeks or something like that. It really helps your hair a lot. You can get steamers on Amazon. I think there's this Q-Reduce steamer that is very popular on Instagram. So there are so many places you can buy steamers from. They have like hooded steamers and stuff. Number two is heat. With heat, it's kind of like the same logic as steam. You can use a heating cap when you deep condition to allow the deep conditioner ingredients penetrate your strand more. You don't have to use like excess heat, just a little bit over body temperature is sufficient to open up your cuticles enough. You can do stuff like using warm water in your hair. Like whenever I'm styling my hair, I usually have warm water in my spray bottle. I don't use cold water in my spray bottle. You can also heat up your deep conditioners before you use them. Yeah, that is something you can definitely do. So it just makes the absorption process easier for your hair. It's the same way people heat up oils to do like hot oil treatments and stuff. And also when your cuticles are more open, not only do more things penetrate into your hair, it actually makes it easier for the conditioner molecules to actually bind to our hair and stick to the strand. Since the cuticle is open, there are more places for the conditioner molecules to actually bind to your hair. Like I said, please not excessive heat, because the excessive heat damages your hair. Just a little bit over body temperature is fine. Next, we have shampooing. I know there are people that don't like to shampoo their hair because they're scared that it will dry their hair out, so they only co-wash and stuff, but please don't do that. You need a shampoo step, because not only is your hair going to start having product buildup, and product buildup will lead to drier hair, you would start to, if you're not properly cleansing your hair, you start to deal with folliculitis and having bumps on your scalp, and you start having irritations on your scalp that can lead to hair loss. So in the long run, it will damage your hair and possibly your scalp, so that is not something you want to do. You need a shampoo step, especially if your hair is low porosity, because buildup is bad, very bad for low porosity hair. Because when buildup starts to happen, you're putting all these things, all these products in your hair, all these conditioners, butters, oils, and all of that. You need to cleanse your hair to give your hair space to breathe, so that moisture can get into your hair, so that water can get into your hair, so that your hair can be hydrated before you put stuff on it again. But if you're constantly just putting all these butters and creams and everything, you're stuffing your hair, you're suffocating your hair, and your hair is not getting the adequate water that it needs. Your hair is not going to be hydrated. So you need to properly cleanse your hair and let water get into your strand before you put anything else on it. Like if your hair is dry and you go ahead and put a butter on it, it will just worsen the dryness. Like that's just, it's nothing. Water is not getting into your strand. You're just putting a butter, or you put an oil on it, you're just going to worsen the dryness. Please, no, please shampoo your hair. Like I do not, and I have never really encouraged constant co-washing without shampooing. You need a shampoo step. I'm not saying co-washing is bad. Co-washing has its benefits, but co-washing is something that you do every now and then. It's not something that you constantly do and just completely forget shampooing your hair. Co-washing definitely has its benefits. And for the people worried about shampoo drying out their hair, that is why you deep condition immediately after. And deep conditioning immediately after shampooing is very beneficial, because when you shampoo your hair, like me personally, whenever I'm washing my hair, I use very warm water, so there's always steam. So that also helps to open up your cuticles. And also shampoo is kind of slightly alkaline. So again, alkaline stuff helps to open up our cuticles. But please, 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 I know there are people that use baking soda on their hair to open up their cuticles. I would not recommend anybody doing that, because you can easily damage your hair from doing that. Shampoo is very slightly alkaline, so it's not going to open up your cuticles to a point where it actually damages your hair. So as your cuticle is more open, there is steam, more moisture, and everything is getting to your hair. That's why it's very good to deep condition immediately after you shampoo. Don't waste too much time. Just go straight into deep conditioning, so that since the cuticles are open, your hair is going to suck up everything that it needs to suck up from your deep conditioner. Okay, so I think I have covered everything I have to cover. Yeah, I've covered everything I need to cover. If you have questions on all this stuff, I hope I've been able to answer a lot of your questions. If you have more questions on stuff I did not cover in the video, please definitely ask me down below, and I'll try my best to answer. I know moisturizing, keeping our hair moisturized and hydrated can be very, very frustrating, especially if you're just going natural newly and you don't really know what to expect. But let me know if you guys want me to do one for high porosity hair. My hair is low porosity, so that's why I started with low porosity first. But yeah, definitely, if you want me to do one for high porosity hair, let me know. Yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share. And subscribe to my channel by clicking the subscribe button down below on my face on this side. Also, do not forget to watch my other natural hair videos on this side. I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye guys.